Indeed, it's such an amazing resource for you to use to get applicants for your business. However, you may be asking, how much money should you be spending to get the desired results? I have caregiver recruiting expert Rachel from Carework to answer just that. Let's dive in. All right, Rachel. So how much should you be spending as a business owner on Indeed
Mhm.
when attracting caregivers?
I get this question all the time. And I think what people are looking for is a quick answer. If you spend $600 a month, you're going to meet your hiring goals or whatever it is. If you spend this per month. And the answer is there is not an answer that will work for everybody because everybody's markets are different. Their appeal to applicants is different. The amount of applicants they need is different. So this can really be broken down to a math problem at its most simple. That is, how many applicants do you need to meet your hiring goals multiplied by your cost per applicant? So if you sit down and look at your numbers, how many caregivers do you want to hire? How many applicants does it take you to get those number of hires? And what's your current cost per applicant? Now, the problem for a lot of people is that when they do that, it can be very startling and overwhelming of how much they would need to spend. So then the long term strategies come into play, right? That's the quick answer. The long term strategy is you have to increase the amount of applicants you convert to hires, and you have to decrease your cost per applicant. And there are no quick fixes for that. But if you are working on those two areas of strategy, and if you know the numbers, how many applicants do I need? How much does each applicant cost me? Then you can forecast a budget that is custom to your current hiring results to meet your hiring goals. And so that way, as you're working on those long term strategies, at least in the meantime, you're spending the right amount to meet your hiring goals so you can keep your agency healthy while you work on decreasing that cost over time. Hopefully, for most people, they're going to want to decrease it. Now, a couple of things can make this number really high. That is in certain markets. So we see this actually a lot in California. We see this in states that have very high certification requirements like New Jersey. The number is going to be higher of what they have to spend on Indeed. But what will even it out for them is if they get really good at converting those applicants to hires. So just remember those two things go hand in hand. How many applicants does it take me to get a hire? What's my cost per applicant? If you have one of those that's throwing your number off, focus on that and win where you can. So if you have a low cost per applicant, you can afford to be a little bit worse at converting applicants to hires. If you live in a state where your cost per applicant is going to be really high, you have to be particularly good at getting those applicants hired in order to keep your budget hopefully within reason.
It's so important that you have that aspect of, hey, Indeed and getting those applicants is only part of the story. If we
Mhm.
don't have this other aspect of converting them, then we're missing out on a huge part of
Yeah.
that. Now, do you have any tips specifically on how to get more applicants specifically with those Indeed ads?
Yes. So there's a couple of things. There's a lot of Indeed strategies that can get really complex, but the just basics, run a combination of paid and free ads. Don't rely on one or the other. Refresh your ads once every 30 days per ad. So, one of the things we like to suggest is to have a multitude of ads running and every week refresh one or two of those ads that have hit 30 days. Because, particularly with free ads, you're going to get the best results right after you post it. So, every week, just take one of your ads that's hit 30 days and repost it. And then actually call your Indeed rep. A lot of people don't know you can call your assigned Indeed representative and you can ask them very specific questions. What titles are performing best in my area? What keywords? What pay? And they can sit down and look at some of the data you don't have access to and go through that with you. At Carework, we do that for our clients, and it's not uncommon for my recruiters to spend an hour or 2 hours on the phone with Indeed, really digging into that data to turn around and craft custom strategies for a market. So if you're not sure why your Indeed ads aren't performing, call Indeed. Just before you do, make sure you know how much money you're prepared to spend and if you're converting the applicants to hires, because you cannot outspend a broken recruiting pipeline. So make sure you're getting a good amount of hires for the applicants and then call Indeed and figure out how to really pump up the numbers to get more applicants in your pipeline. At Carework, we can do all of these hard things for you. We can do day-to-day of all of your recruiting legwork, manage your job ads, and track all of your data for you. So if you're looking for an outsourced recruiting solution, we are ready for you. It's like hiring a new recruiter, but way cheaper. You can go to careworkus.com and there's a button there that says book a call with a hiring expert where we'd love to help you.